Times. Go ahead, Brian, your line's open.
Hi, Fedi. Thanks for making some time for us. Good to talk to you again. Just early on, what are your impressions of training with the team, and what do you think of your new teammates?
Buenas tardes, Fede. Un gusto hablar contigo otra vez. Es Brian con el que hablaste del Chicago Sun-Times. Simplemente para empezar, ¿qué piensas? ¿Cuáles son tus primeras impresiones de entrenar con el equipo y qué piensas de tus nuevos compañeros?
Hola, buenas tardes. Un gusto. No, la verdad que me recibieron muy bien. Contento de ya poder estar a la par del grupo. Y no, la verdad que es otro nivel al que yo estaba acostumbrado y la verdad que me alegra muchísimo porque es lo que esperaba.
Hi, good afternoon. It's a pleasure. The reality is that everyone received me very well. I'm really happy. I'm really happy to be able to be with the full team again and to be out there training. Really, it's another level from what I was used to, and I'm just getting used to it. And really, it makes me really happy because it's another level, and that's what I was expecting.
All right, next we'll go to Pat McCraney from SB Nation. Go ahead, Pat.
Fede, good to talk to you. You are going to be the first Chicago Fire player to wear number 31 since a very famous former player retired, Bastian Schweinsteiger. Talk to me about why you chose number 31 and what does it mean to you to wear that number here?
Un gusto, un placer, Fede, de hablar contigo. Vas a ser el primer jugador del Chicago Fire en usar la camiseta número 31 desde que se retiró el famoso jugador Bastian Schweinsteiger de aquí de Chicago. ¿Me puedes hablar un poco acerca de por qué escogiste ese número y qué significa para ti usar ese número aquí en Chicago?
Hola, bueno, también un gusto. No, la verdad que no sabía yo que esa camiseta la habían retirado por Bastian, y la verdad que para mí ahora que me han dado la posibilidad de usar el número, me enorgullece bastante, porque es un jugador que ganó todo y la dimensión que tiene, ¿no? Pero bueno, yo el número lo elegí porque fue con la camiseta que debuté. Con ese número yo hice mi debut profesionalmente.
Thank you. It's also a pleasure. The truth is I didn't know that they had retired that jersey for Bastian, but now that I know and that I'm able to wear it, really, it's a great honor because he's a player who won everything, and he's a player who one aspires to be like. The truth is I chose that number because that's the shirt number I used when I made my debut. I used that number when I debuted professionally.
All right, next we'll go to Jeremy McCullough from the Chicago Tribune, and then we'll go next to Phil West from MLSsoccer.com. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hi, Federico. Thank you for your time. Good afternoon. There are several players from Argentina, both in MLS, and a couple of your teammates here in Chicago are also from Argentina. Did you speak with any of those guys from your country before coming? And if so, what did they say about the league and the city and things like that?
Buenas tardes, muchas gracias por tomar el tiempo de hablar con nosotros hoy. Hay muchos jugadores de Argentina, tanto en la liga como algunos de tus compañeros aquí en Chicago. ¿Habías hablado con ellos antes de venir? ¿Y qué fue más o menos lo que te dijeron o qué te platicaron acerca de la liga y de la ciudad?
No, bueno, ahora me tocó tener dos compañeros que son argentinos y para mí significan un montón porque yo creo que me van a ayudar en la adaptación. Y bueno, y también tuve muchos compañeros que ahora actualmente están acá jugando en MLS y hablé con ellos antes de venir y me dijeron, la verdad que todo lo que me dijeron era verdad porque es una vida distinta, otra cultura. Y bueno, la liga yo creo que fue creciendo y ahora es una de las más fuertes del mundo, ¿no?
Because it's my turn. Bienvenidos.
Sorry,
Hang
let
on,
me go
Phil.
ahead and translate.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I was lucky enough to have two teammates here who are from Argentina, and I think that it's going to be really helpful for me. They're going to help me a ton in adapting to the league and to the city. And there are a lot of other Argentine players in MLS. I was able to speak with some of them, and really what they told me I've seen to be true, that it's a different lifestyle, a different culture, and that the league itself it's growing so much, and it's now one of the best in the world. Go
ahead, Phil.
Hey, so sorry about that. Bienvenidos. So what about your game do you think is well suited to the Fire and to MLS in particular? I know that there are a few players from Tejares who have come over to MLS recently, including Thomas Pochettino down from my neck of the woods here in Austin.
¿Qué parte de tu juego o tu forma de jugar crees que que va a ayudar mejor o que puede adaptarse mejor a la liga y al Chicago Fire? Sé que hemos tenido varios jugadores de Talleres que han venido, incluyendo a Tomás Pochettino por ahí en Austin. ¿Qué es lo que tú aportas o qué es lo que mejor te queda de jugar en la MLS?
Yo creo que voy a aportar, por ahí mis características son mucho más ofensivas. Yo por ahí yo creo que es una liga de mucha transición, de mucha dinámica, y por ahí yo puedo aportar un poco de equilibrio y cubrir varios espacios.
I think that I'm here to provide a lot. I think my characteristics are more offensive minded. I bring a lot of dynamic movement, and I think that fits the league very well. I think that what I bring is also a bit of balance and equilibrium, and I can cover a lot of spaces.
All right, next we'll go to Justin Wasik, and then we'll go back to Pat McCraney. Go ahead, Justin, your line is open.
Hi, Fetty. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Chicago. I know you've touched upon some things in this press conference, but what about this project in MLS and specifically here for the Fire was intriguing to you and drew you into leaving Argentina and playing for the Fire?
Un gusto en conocerte y muchas gracias por estar con nosotros hoy. Sé que has hablado un poco de esto ya en esta conferencia de prensa, pero ¿qué fue lo que te llamó más la atención de este proyecto de llegar a la MLS y específicamente de venir a jugar con el Fire, de dejar Argentina y venir a jugar con el Fire?
No, yo creo que fue una decisión muy correcta. Yo creo que mejor salto que este no pudo haber dado. Bueno, uno siempre quiere crecer y bueno, yo estoy tratando de hacerlo. Y creo que el Chicago Fire siempre, desde que se supo que podía llegar a venir, fue como una prioridad totalmente para mí y para la gente que me rodea, que me ayudó a tomar esta decisión de hoy estar acá.
I think it was a very correct decision for me. I think I couldn't have made a better next step. As a player, you're always looking to grow and to get better, and that's what I'm trying to do. So especially here with the Fire, ever since I learned about their interest, it was a priority for me and for the people around me to get here and make this step into this club.
Pat McCraney?
Fede, we know a good amount about you, the footballer, but can you tell us about you, the person? Do you have any interests outside of football? Did you have a favorite club or player growing up? What can you tell us about yourself?
Conocemos bastante de ti como futbolista, pero no conocemos a Fede como persona. ¿Tienes algunos intereses? ¿Qué te gusta hacer? ¿Tienes algún jugador favorito o algún club favorito ese que has seguido desde que eras niño? ¿Qué es lo que te gusta hacer? ¿Qué te interesa?
No, la verdad que mi vida siempre giró en torno al fútbol. Soy muy fanático del fútbol, puedo estar las 24 horas del día viendo fútbol, no me molesta y yo creo que si no supiera hacer otra cosa, no sé qué sería, pero bueno, yo siempre fui muy abocado a esto y bueno, siempre mi cabeza va a estar en el fútbol.
Actually, the truth is that my life has always revolved around football. I am a huge fan of football. I could be watching 24 hours a day and it wouldn't bother me in the least. If I didn't know how to do this or if I had to do something else, I really don't know what it would be. I've always just been around football and I think my head's always going to just be around football.
All right, we'll take one more. We'll go back to Phil West. Go ahead, Phil.
Hi there. Yeah, so just wanted to get your sense of kind of looking at the rest of the season. What are your kind of immediate goals for the team? What kind of things do you want to bring right at the outset?
Viendo un poco lo que queda, lo que resta de la temporada, ¿cuáles son tus metas en torno al equipo y qué es lo que buscas hacer, cómo buscas aportar luego?
No, primero la meta que creo que mía y de todo el grupo es ganar todo lo que se aproxima, tratar de clasificar a los playoffs. Bueno, y después dice verano, todo es paso a paso.
My first goal, and I think it's the group's goal as well, is to win everything that we can and to try to qualify for playoffs. And after that, then everything is just step by step.
All right, we'll actually take one more. Let's go to John Rojas from Jugador Franquicia. Go ahead, John. Your line is open.
Thanks, Jamie. Fede, gracias por el tiempo. Fede, a tu edad, a los 21 años, especialmente en Argentina y en Sudamérica en general, todavía se ve incómodo que los chicos vengan a MLS. ¿Por qué crees que la gente que lo ve así está equivocada?
Yo creo que la gente que dice eso no juega al fútbol, así que no tiene dimensión de lo que es venir a jugar acá, de lo que es la vida acá, así que yo no comparto a la gente que dice que venir a la MLS no es progresar.
Gracias, Fede. Jamie, can I do just one more? Fede,
John, if you don't mind, we'll let Elizabeth translate that one, and then I'll go back.
Yeah, sure.
No
Perfect.
problem.
Thanks.
Yep. Go ahead, E.
For the people at your age, at 21 years, still there are a lot of people, especially in South America and Argentina, that look poorly on players coming to MLS. Why do you think that those people are mistaken? I think that the people who say that don't play football. They don't know what it's like. They don't have an idea of what it's like to be in the league and the team and have a sense of the game. So I really don't have that same. I don't share their opinion that coming to MLS means you're not progressing.
Go ahead, John.
Thanks. Thank you. Fede, al principio decías que te encontraste un nivel muy diferente al que estabas acostumbrado. ¿Me puedes regalar detalles en qué cosas ves ese nivel tan diferente a lo que te traías en Talleres?
No, yo creo que si bien Talleres es el club que me dio todo, que me dio a formarme, yo creo que viví todas las etapas en el club. Y bueno, no, pero yo creo que acá la gente en cierta forma labura diferente. Es algo que yo me esperaba y bueno, y con eso me encontré. No, por ahí no quise malinterpretar de que allá laburan mal en Argentina, ¿no? Sino que acá mi punto de vista es mucho más profesional.
At the beginning, you mentioned that when you started training with the team, you found another level than what you had seen down in Argentina or that we had lived in Argentina. Can you just give me a few more details about this? Yes, Talleres, well, that's the club that gave me everything. That's the club that formed me. That's where I lived every stage of my career in my life until now. And I don't mean to say that it was a different level or that things weren't done well down there, but just in the sense that it's another level, another style of life here. It's in certain ways, it's just a little bit more professional.
Wonderful. Fede, muchas gracias por su tiempo. That's it for today. Hang tight, everyone. We'll have just jump right in. We'll go back to Brian Sandalo for the first question. Go ahead, Brian.
Hi, Rafa. Thanks for making some time for us this afternoon. Good to talk to you again. Just wanted to follow up on something from the previous game. You said that you didn't play Francisco Calvo as a tactical decision. What went into that choice? What were you seeing from Francisco that made you decide not to play him?
Yeah, it was a tactical decision. I don't really want to go into justifying why on public. I spoke with Francisco multiple times. I speak a lot with him, but I spoke with him specifically why I'm not going to play him. For me, it's important that the player knows what I expect from him, what I expect him to do better, and I think that should stay between me and the player.
Okay, is he? I know with qualifying and everything, is he available for this weekend's game?
He had to get subbed out yesterday due to an injury. Of my knowledge, in the game in minute 88, I believe. So we're not entirely sure. It's questionable because he will have to see the doctor either today or tomorrow and see how it is. But it's questionable.
If he's healthy, will he be back in the lineup for you Saturday?
I'm not going to tell you that today.
I had to ask, Rafa. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pat McCraney.
Rafa, how has Fede looked in the little bit that you've gotten to see him with the group? And do you expect him, I know you won't tell us if he'll start or not, but do you expect he might play this weekend against Kansas City?
Yeah, I'm happy that he's here finally. I think it's always a long time, or sometimes it's a long time for a player between the signing and then all the visa process and all those things which need to happen. And then the COVID rules, obviously, which are special since 2 years now or a year and a half, to be with the team. So he was very happy to be here. We're happy to have him. And I saw him yesterday for about 25 minutes in our little scrimmage we had, and he looked good. He looked good. He confirmed, or his 25 minutes confirmed what we know of him. That he's a little bit of a different profile than a lot of our other midfielders, and I think that's a good addition to our team, an addition which we need. we will need in these upcoming weeks, and especially as well moving forward to the end of the season, next season. This is a profile which this team needs. And yeah, if nothing happens tomorrow in training, and if he feels well, he will be in the squad to travel to Sporting, to Kansas City.
All right, next we'll go to Jeremy McCullough and then Phil West. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hi, Rafa. Good afternoon, and thank you for your time as always. You guys are on a very lengthy road trip of, I think it's 6 games away from Soldier Field. Have you ever been on this long of a stretch in your career, either as a coach or as a player? And then how do you keep the players in like a good mental state, knowing and prepared, knowing that they're not going to be at home for a while, at least in terms of game?
No, I have never been in a position like that as a player and as a coach, because obviously in Europe that doesn't really happen. It's all different there. And last year it didn't happen in that big of an amount. But it is what it is, and I mean, I think we've dealt well with the previous 3 games. Then this break, obviously, this 2 weeks now breaks it up a little bit, and this gave us a little break from, so it doesn't feel like 6 real games, one after the other way. So we had these 2-week breaks where the players were able to be at home a little bit with their families and also have a day or 2 off. And obviously, now we're going into a 3-game stretch again away. But we're taking game by game, and we finally got our first win in New York, which was great. And we're going to go with the same mentality and spirit to Kansas City, and we know that we can win points away from home. We know that we need to a really good and perfect performance to do a good result there. But that's what we want to do in Kansas. And I think for the players, we had a lot of home games. They knew that this stretch is going to come. So right now, I don't think this is a problem for the players.
Phil West, go ahead.
Just going back to Federico a little bit, just kind of wondering what it is that you think he offers the club, what kind of holes he might fill, how he fits in with the rest of the squad, and where you see his potential being.
Yeah, I think Federico is a real defensive midfielder. He's a number. I wouldn't call him a number 6. He's just a defensive midfielder. He has a strength of. We call these guys a ball winner. We call these guys. And I was, for a big part of my career, a player like that. I call them sometimes water carrier. Their role is to recover balls, to do more of the dirty work. He's a good footballer. He can play football, but we have different expectations from him, and he knows his role and he feels comfortable in that. And that's what he did. That's what he's known in Argentina. He's a ball winner. He covers a lot of ground. He's a good footballer on top of that. But he will probably not be the guy who is always playing the last pass, the decisive pass. If he does, we're happy with that too. But compare him with obviously with Luca, with Alvaro, with Gaston, who are more like 8s. Some of them are even 10s, who are very, very dangerous also in the final third, who can be very dangerous in the final third. Federico, I think, is a real holding midfielder. Covers ground, recovers balls, and does this kind of work, and that's a good addition for our team.
All right, John Rojas.
Thanks, Jamie. Rafa, I'm just curious with the international window, how do the staff manage the games? I mean, you like to watch the game on your own and get your own ideas and from your players that are playing with the national teams. You guys split the games and get together after that to discuss what you saw. How do you guys manage that among the staff?
Yeah, obviously we want to watch as many games as we can. I mean, we're following the players. We're following their games, and if they're not in the middle of the night, then we try to watch them, or one of the staff members watches it, and we talk about it, and that's how we manage it. Yeah.
Go back to Brian Sandalo.
Rafa, just to shift gears a little bit, Saturday is the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and I believe you were in Spain at that period. What do you remember most about that period of world history, and what did that? I guess what was your reaction to seeing that unfold, and now the 20th anniversary of that tragedy?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously, I think, for many of us, or for almost all of us, is one of those moments where you exactly remember where you were at the time. I was playing in Spain, but at the moment I was in rehab in Zurich. I had a knee surgery, I think a week before or so. So I was in rehab in Zurich when this obviously very tragic and sad incident happened. Yeah, what do I remember? Obviously, it changed the world. It changed a lot for a lot of people, and it's obviously a very sad moment in the world history, in the history for the United States. And it's 20 years, but yeah. I mean, for me, as a European, when you go to New York, when you see these pictures, it's just crazy. I mean, obviously, every year when the date arrives, there is always documentaries and movies and stuff coming in, and you see these pictures again. It's just unbelievable that this actually happened. Yeah, I think it just remembers us always to this moment, and to be grateful for what we have, and thankful for what we have. But it obviously changed the life of a lot of people, and I think for the whole world.
All right, next we'll go to Jeremy McCullough. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Not quite going to ask a 9/11 question, but back to soccer really quick, Rafa. A few weeks ago, Alvaro Madran was out with health and safety protocols, but has since come back and come off the bench in, I think, 3 games in a row or so. What's his status, and how is he doing since that time?
Yeah, his status is fine. He's with us. He's training. He's ready for the weekend. He came in a little bit in very, very short I think it was in Miami. Then he had a little bit more, I think, in Orlando, if I'm correct. Yeah, he's there, and he will be available, and he's a big part, an important part for our team.
All right, we'll take a couple more. Let's go to Hernan Espinoza from La Fiera Deportiva. Go ahead, Hernan.
Hello, Rafa. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I would like to ask you, do you have any injured players or some concerns about players that are not going to be ready for Saturday, or how all the players looking like?
Yeah, obviously we have obviously Kenny who is still out. We have now Francisco questionable, and we will have, I think, Guti questionable, who deals with some foot problems since quite a while, and it doesn't really get better. So we have to really make a decision what's the best for him, so that it doesn't get worse. I think that should be. Nacho is still questionable. He's back in training. He's back since a few days. So we'll see how he feels tomorrow, and see if he is ready to make the trip to Kansas.
All right, we'll go back to John Rojas, and then we'll end on Brian Sandalo. Go ahead, John.
Thanks, Jamie. Rafa, for people that still figuring out Fede Navarro, it's fair to say that the expectation could be that he turns into your Diego Chara?
I think if that's what you say, if you compare him with him, I think it's not a bad comparison. He's like I said, he's a holding midfielder who covers a lot of ground, who is aggressive, who wins a lot of balls, but who is also, like Diego Chara, a good footballer as well. I think, yeah, similar player like that. So, yeah, there's not much to add from my side.
Perfect. And Brian's hand just dropped down. So, John, I see your hand is up. Do you still have another, or are you all good, my friend?
Oh, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. We'll end on that one. Rafa, thank you for your time, and thanks everyone for joining us today.
Thank you.